Hello everybody, this is Legends of Runterra, and I'm Mr. Octonit, and today we're going to be talking about Soraka and Tom Kench. We're going to be talking about Soraka and Tom Kench and the amount of pain, the amount of back pain that these two have caused me in my enjoyment of Legends of Runterra, and my main issues with these two cards. So, my biggest problem with Soraka and Tom Kench is the absolute frustration that I get playing with them, right? And that's the main thing that this is going to be centered around. Not the fact that they're overpowered. They're not. I don't think Soraka and Tom Kench are necessarily overpowered. They're powerful, not overpowered. They're not, unstoppable. They're not unbeatable. They're just so frustrating and just so headache-inducing that a lot of the time I want to just surrender, right? Not because I don't think I can win, but because I don't want to go through the pain of going through a game with these two champions, right? Okay, so Soraka's effect is when she supports an ally, she heals it and herself for 4. And she levels up once you've healed damaged allies 4 times. Which is really not difficult with Bilgewater, because of course in Bilgewater you get these like a convenient name for a specific line of units. There's no real, like, I guess you could say the freaking fish mafia units, because that's the actual lore behind these units. These are pretty much fish mafia. Right, but these, I guess self-damage, right? The line of self-damage units starts with Rusty Culture. Right off the bat, you have a 1-cost unit that deals 2 to itself. So you already have a damaged unit that you can then heal and help level up Soraka with. Down the line, you have you have Star Shepherd, which becomes more and more powerful every time you heal a unit. This can get especially ridiculous if you use something like, let's say, Xenoblade, or if you use that one unit that Stargazer. I haven't actually played against someone who has used Stargazer, probably because you don't technically need Stargazer to win the game, because of course, the landmark one. Starspring. Oh my goodness, Starspring. Oh, this card. Oh, this card. People before complained about Fiora and her level up. But honestly, playing against Fiora, well, I guess playing against Fiora back when she was a 3-3 was definitely frustrating. All I have to do is kill her. I just have to corner her and get rid of her. The problem with Starspring is that it's a landmark, which means you need a specific cards in order to deal with this. And so if you're not playing a deck that runs any landmark removal, guess what? Every round, the enemy is just getting further and further up, leveling up Starspring and ending the game. And then we have this one ridiculous card that boggles my mind, right? Because Starspring is already ridiculous. In my opinion, Starspring being a 2-mana landmark is ridiculous all in itself. There's one specific card in here, I think in the 4-mana range, 4 mana. A 4-mana unit that every round start, heal your nexus and deal, the equal amount of damage to the unit itself. This by itself isn't actually that ridiculous, because it's a unit that every round it deals damage to itself, so it's not really good for blocking, and the Surge Attack isn't good for attacking, considering it only does 2 damage. But pair that with Starspring, and oh my goodness, and also pair that with Soraka, and it becomes even more ridiculous. So not only does your enemy have ways of keeping all of their units alive, they are almost never going to die from direct damage, right? Their nexus is almost never going to die from direct damage because of brought back protectors. So you need to get rid of these units. Again, if you're not running a deck that has reliable ways of, reliable unit removal, tough luck. Tough luck. You're never going to win that game. But of course, there is the most egregious card. Something even because your Soraka on her own is not ridiculous. Once she levels up, she's still not, that crazy. But then you paired her with Tahm Kench. Oh my goodness. Tahm Kench, right. So, Tahm Kench. Round start, create an acquired taste in hand. What is an acquired taste? An acquired taste is Tahm Kench swallows an enemy unit. It strikes him, then he captures it. Here's why this is ridiculous. First of all, it's 2 mana. It doesn't even drain all of your banked spell mana. Think about that. Remember how back in the day, Hush didn't even drain all of your spell mana? This card should be 3 mana. Okay? I don't care that it's slow speed. It captures an enemy unit, right? Which capture in of itself is, in my opinion, one of the most frustrating mechanics in the game. So yeah, that unit in turn does strike, which does give you the ability to get rid of Tahm Kench potentially. While Tahm Kench has 6 health, and you get to drop him on mana 4. A lot of the time you don't have a lot of the time Tahm Kench has easy pickings in that round, right? He has easy pickings with which unit he targets and what he devours. Which then with Starspring, once he takes, some damage, he heals up. He gets healed. So he can just keep on devouring your units. And let's say, maybe you have buff cards, right? You have ways of buffing that unit to, kill Tahm Kench once he tries to eat it. You're like, okay, that makes it slightly more manageable, you think. Except Hush exists, right? This card exists. Of course, it was nerfed, but it's still probably one of the most powerful cards in the game, and it is arguably the most powerful card in Targon, right? Arguably the most powerful. I don't think there's any other card in Targon that really matches it, and just how ridiculous it is. So, he targets your big unit, right? He targets your big unit. You try to buff it, he hushes it. So yeah, say goodbye to that unit, because trust me, you're never going to see that unit again, right? Very, very rarely freed captured units from Tahm Kench, because of how ridiculously difficult it is to actually get rid of him, with him being aligned with Targon. Right, and it's not just, Hush. There are other ways of keeping Tahm Kench alive, like something as simple as Pellet Cascades, right? But that's not, okay, that's Pellet Cascades, nasty, but whatever. Sunblast Vigor, okay. Then you consider the fact that, Bastion exists, right? And of course, let's not forget Astral Protection, this card. Oh my goodness, this card. This card seals the deal, right? Once the enemy has used this card on their Tahm Kench, that's it. Right? You just forget about getting rid of Tahm Kench. At that point, you would just have to awkwardly play around Tahm Kench, right? You have to try to trick him out, try to make him eat one of your less useful units, so you can then actually plop down one of your powerful units and try to then force your enemy to the corner to the point where he has to block with Tahm Kench. Except, even when you do that, you probably aren't able to kill Tahm Kench because of Astral Protection, which is a burst spell. So here's my main issue with Soraka and Tahm Kench. I don't think they're overpowered. They're not. They're powerful, but not overpowered. They're not unbeatable. I have won games against Soraka and Tahm Kench. But the problem is, it's just how unfun it is. I rarely feel any satisfaction whether win or lose against Tahm Kench and Soraka, right? Win or lose, I feel no satisfaction. because it is just so much pain to get rid of, to do anything, because this is just a problem with Targon in general, right? Not just with Soraka and Tomcat. This is a problem with Targon in general that I've seen some people bring up. And that's that Targon has way too many powerful cards, right? It's okay for a region to have ridiculously powerful cards, right? A few of them. Shurima has Shaped Stone, which is really powerful. It's 1 mana, 3/1, which is ridiculous, especially when you use that alongside Renekton. But, just a few things, right? Just a few spells and units that are stupidly powerful is okay per region. In a way, having just a few ridiculously powerful cards in every region balance things out. Problem is, Targon has way too many powerful cards, and this is coming from someone who actually enjoys playing Targon, right? I enjoy playing Targon. I find Targon fun, even though I hate Tomcat and Soraka. I generally like Targon decks, but oh my goodness, I can agree. I've seen some other people say this too. Targon has way too many powerful cards. Has way too many ridiculously powerful cards. And that is one of the biggest issues with it. So yeah, this is another rant. Hopefully I had another rant video before this to make that line actually make sense. But yeah, that was it. This is me ranting. Bye-bye.